Justin Herbert. In the 2025 NFL season, Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers stands among the most highly paid athletes in football history. His contract, a 5-year extension worth $262.5 million signed in 2023, secured him an average annual value of $52.5 million. But in 2025, his guaranteed salary alone reaches an eye-popping $60 million, making headlines across the league. The numbers sound staggering, but the reality tells a different story. Playing in California means Herbert faces some of the nation's highest tax rates. Federal, state, and payroll taxes could swallow nearly half his income. Analysts estimate that after deductions, Herbert may take home closer to $24 to $25 million of his $60 million payday. For fans, the figure showcases both the glory of a massive contract and the weight of the financial realities behind it. Josh Allen. On March 9, 2025, the Buffalo Bills made NFL history. Josh Allen signed a 6-year, $330 million contract with $250 million fully guaranteed. That figure didn't just raise eyebrows, it shattered records, making him the highest-paid player in league history when it comes to guaranteed money. In 2025 alone, Allen will earn over $58 million in cash. The deal was carefully structured to balance the Bills' salary cap while still rewarding their franchise quarterback with generational wealth. Every dollar in that contract was designed to secure stability, for Allen and for Buffalo's future. But the story doesn't end on the field. Away from the stadium lights, Allen runs a 1,000-acre pistachio farm with his family, generating nearly $6.5 million annually. It's proof that his vision extends beyond football, building legacy, wealth, and security, both on and off the gridiron. Josh Allen's contract is more than a paycheck. It's a statement of trust, a blueprint for the future, and a reminder that in today's NFL, the true power of a quarterback is measured not just in touchdowns, but in the history-making numbers written into their deals. Tua Tagovailoa. In the shimmering heat of Miami, a young left-handed quarterback stands tall. He carries not just a football, but the weight of expectation, legacy, and now, one of the richest contracts in NFL history. The numbers are staggering, $53.1 million per year. But behind that paycheck lies a story of resilience, risk, and redemption. Drafted 5th overall in 2020, Tua arrived in Miami carrying both hype and doubt. His college heroics were undeniable, but so were the questions about his health. Those doubts intensified in 2022 when a series of concussions sparked national debate over player safety. Critics wondered if his career could survive the blows. Yet by 2023, he silenced many doubters, leading the entire league in passing yards and earning his first Pro Bowl selection, becoming the first Dolphins quarterback to achieve that feat since Dan Marino in 1992. Then came July of 2024. Miami put its faith in him, signing Tua to a 4-year, $212.4 million extension, $167 million guaranteed, with $42 million paid upfront as a signing bonus. It was more than money. It was a statement, a declaration that Tua is the face of the franchise. But with such a deal comes pressure. At $53.1 million annually, he ranks alongside the NFL's highest-paid stars, names like Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and Jordan Love. Yet none of those top-earning quarterbacks, as of the 2025 season, have hoisted a Super Bowl trophy. That fact lingers like a shadow, a reminder that paychecks alone don't cement legacies. For Tua Tagovailoa, the story is still being written. His contract reflects trust, his numbers reflect talent, and his past reflects perseverance. But the question remains, can this record-breaking deal finally bring Miami the championship glory it's been chasing since the Marino era? Only time, and game day will tell. By the way, I'm going to be posting a lot more interesting videos on the channel. I'll greatly appreciate it if you could show support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you. Patrick Mahomes isn't just the face of the Kansas City Chiefs, he's the face of modern NFL wealth. In the 2025 to 2026 season, Mahomes will take home $50 million in cash earnings, placing him among the very top of the league's highest-paid players. That number alone captures the financial weight he carries, but the story runs much deeper. Back in 2020, Mahomes signed a groundbreaking 10-year, $450 million contract, the largest in professional sports history at the time. That deal locked in his future while giving the Chiefs the cornerstone they needed to build a dynasty. By 2025, the structure of that contract, with base salary, bonuses, and restructures, pushes his yearly payout to that incredible $50 million mark. But this figure represents more than a paycheck. It reflects a quarterback who has redefined expectations for both performance and compensation. Each season, Mahomes continues to deliver on the investment. Super Bowl runs, MVP-caliber play, and the leadership that makes Kansas City a perennial contender. His contract not only influences the Chiefs' cap strategy, but also sets the bar for other quarterbacks fighting for their place among the league's financial elite. And as the 2025 to 2026 season unfolds, Mahomes' name doesn't just appear on the stat sheet, it appears at the very top of the salary rankings, proving once again that when it comes to combining talent and value, Patrick Mahomes is in a league of his own. Dak Prescott. Under the bright lights of AT&T Stadium, one man carries the weight of a franchise worth billions. Dak Prescott, the face of the Dallas Cowboys, walks into the 2025 season with a cash payout of $47,750,000. It's a number that not only cements his place among the top 20 highest-paid NFL players, but also underscores the high-stakes expectations riding on his shoulders. From a fourth-round draft pick in 2016 to one of football's wealthiest quarterbacks, Prescott's journey is nothing short of remarkable. On March 5, 2025, the Cowboys restructured Prescott's deal, converting $45.75 million of his salary into a signing bonus. That single move created nearly $37 million in cap space, breathing room Dallas desperately needed. But it didn't stop there. Prescott also secured a massive four-year, $240 million extension, with $129 million fully guaranteed and an average annual value of $60 million per year. At 32 years old, Prescott isn't just a quarterback anymore. He's the financial and competitive cornerstone of America's team. Placed alongside heavyweights like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence, Dak's payout keeps him firmly in elite company, while his $47,750,000 in 2025 cash earnings doesn't top the list. It makes a clear statement. Dallas has bet big on his leadership and his arm, Micah Parsons. When money meets momentum, and when contract disputes turn into seismic trades, this is the story of Micah Parsons. On August 28, 2025, the NFL landscape changed forever. After holding out of training camp over contract negotiations, Parsons was traded by the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for 2 first-round draft picks and veteran defensive tackle Kenny Clark. The move shocked fans across the league. That same day, Parsons signed a record-breaking deal, a 4-year contract extension worth $188 million, with between $120 million and $136 million guaranteed. The deal instantly made him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history, with an average annual value of about $47 million. And for the 2025 season, his cash payout stands at approximately $45,170,000. The structure of the deal is just as staggering as the headline number. While Parsons' base salary for 2025 is only about $1,170,000, it is front-loaded with a $44 million signing bonus. In the years that follow, fully guaranteed option bonuses kick in, $38 million in 2026 and $34,440,000 in 2027. Despite these massive sums, the Packers manage the salary cap carefully. Parsons counts for about $10 million against the cap in 2025, rising to $19,200,000 in 2026 and $26,900,000 in 2027. It is a masterclass in structuring a mega deal while protecting future roster flexibility. Matthew Stafford. In May 2025, the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford reached a restructured 2-year contract worth up to $84 million, securing him $44 million for the 2025 season. That figure places him firmly among the top 20 highest-paid players in the NFL. For a quarterback entering his 17th season, it's not just a payday. It's a testament to longevity, loyalty, and the belief that his arm still has plenty to give. Earlier in the offseason, whispers of change spread across the league. The New York Giants and Las Vegas Raiders had both expressed interest in Stafford, eyeing his veteran presence and proven record. Some reports suggested he was seeking close to $50 million per year. But by March 2025, Stafford chose stability over speculation. He restructured his deal to remain with the Rams, a move that left head coach Sean McVay relieved, even admitting he'd been sleeping better knowing his quarterback wasn't going anywhere. Looking back at 2024, his numbers spoke for themselves. 3,762 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, and just 8 interceptions. Those stats earned him a place on the NFL's top 100 players of 2025, landing at rank number 59. At 37 years old, Stafford continues to embody the rare mix of durability and performance that franchises crave. The $44 million he will earn this season represents more than salary. It reflects trust, leadership, and a career defined by resilience. T.J. Watt. This man has redefined what it means to be the face of a defense, and in 2025, he's being paid like it. For the 2025 to 2026 season, Watt is taking home an incredible $44 million in cash payout, a figure that cements his place among the top earners in the NFL. This payday stems from a blockbuster 3-year, $123 million extension signed in July 2025, with $108 million guaranteed. That deal didn't just make headlines in Pittsburgh, it shook the entire league, making Watt the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. The investment is built on a legacy of dominance. Watt, drafted by the Steelers in 2017, has been nothing short of spectacular, highlighted by his 2021 season when he tied Michael Strawn's single-season sack record with 22.5. Injuries may have slowed him at times, but whenever he's on the field, his impact is undeniable. He wrecks offensive lines, terrorizes quarterbacks, and shifts the momentum of games in ways that very few defenders can. That ability is exactly why the Steelers were willing to commit such historic money to keep him in black and gold. But Watt's $44 million season is more than just a number. It's a statement. It proves that defensive stars can command contracts on par with the game's top quarterbacks. For a franchise that hasn't lifted the Lombardi Trophy since 2009, Pittsburgh knows that its best chance to get back to the top starts with Watt leading the charge. The question that lingers is simple. Can this record-breaking contract help bring championship glory back to the Steel City? Lamar Jackson. On the field, Lamar Jackson is lightning in cleats. Off the field, his contract numbers strike just as hard. For the 2025 to 2026 season, the Baltimore Ravens superstar quarterback carries a massive salary cap hit of $43,500,000, ranking him among the top 20 highest-paid players in the NFL. This payday comes from the historic 5-year, $260 million extension he signed in May 2023, which averages out to $52 million per year. Few players have reshaped the market like Jackson, proving that his combination of speed, vision, and leadership commands both highlight reels and financial headlines. Jackson's journey to this moment was far from guaranteed. Drafted at the tail end of the first round in 2018, he quickly silenced doubters by becoming a 2-time NFL MVP, first in 2019 and again in 2023. By December 2024, he had already secured his place in history as the NFL's all-time rushing leader among quarterbacks, a testament to his revolutionary style of play. These milestones, paired with his dominance on the field, are what justify the jaw-dropping salary figures and cement his reputation as one of the league's most valuable assets. Even with these numbers, Jackson's $52 million annual average value places him around 9th among NFL quarterbacks. But the Ravens are far from finished. Reports in March 2025 revealed that the franchise intends to make Jackson the highest-paid player in the league with a future extension. For now, his $43,500,000 cap hit already puts him in rare company, and the next chapter could see Lamar Jackson redefining not just how quarterbacks play, but how they're paid. Jalen Hurts. In 2020, Jalen Hurts entered the NFL as a second-round pick out of Oklahoma, carrying the weight of doubters who questioned whether he could become a franchise quarterback. Just 5 years later, in the 2025-26 season, Hurts stands among the elite, earning a staggering $42,500,000 in cash, placing him in the top 20 highest-paid players in the league. His journey from underdog to cornerstone of the Philadelphia Eagles is a testament to perseverance and calculated leadership on and off the field. That $42,500,000 payout in 2025 isn't just a headline, it's the product of smart negotiations. The Eagles' front office, led by Howie Roseman, structured Hurts's deal so the team could remain competitive, balancing massive guaranteed money with cap-friendly distribution. It's the modern chess game of the NFL, rewarding a superstar while still keeping the roster around him strong enough to contend. And Hurts delivered when it mattered most. On February 9, 2025, at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, he completed 17 of 22 passes for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns while adding 72 rushing yards, a quarterback record on the ground. He walked away with the Super Bowl MVP award, cementing that his $42,500,000 payday wasn't just a contract figure. It symbolized the price of leadership, resilience, and a championship run. Jamar Chase's rise from LSU standout to NFL superstar has been nothing short of remarkable. Drafted 5th overall in 2021, he wasted no time etching his name into football history with a record-breaking rookie season, posting 1,455 receiving yards and helping the Bengals reach Super Bowl 56. Fast forward to the 2025 to 2026 season, and Chase's value is reflected not only on the field but also in his paycheck. A staggering $41,170,000 in cash earnings for this year alone. That figure secures his spot among the top 20 highest-paid NFL players, marking him as the highest-paid non-quarterback in the league. In March 2025, the Bengals locked in their star wideout with a 4-year, $161 million extension, including $112 million guaranteed. The deal averages $40.25 million annually, making Chase the most expensive weapon outside the quarterback position. What makes this contract even more strategic is its structure, built on rolling guarantees and front-loaded payouts. For the Bengals, it's a bold declaration. Chase isn't just a receiver, he's the centerpiece of their long-term future, the spark of an offense built alongside Joe Burrow that can strike fear into any defense on any given Sunday. But massive contracts bring massive pressure. With a $23.57 million cap hit in 2025 and so much cash flowing his way, Cincinnati's expectations are clear. Chase must continue to deliver highlight reel plays and, ultimately, help bring home the Lombardi Trophy the city has craved for decades. The question that lingers is simple but heavy. Can Jamar Chase live up to the weight of $41 million this season and cement his legacy as the man who carried the Bengals to glory? For fans in Cincinnati, the story is still being written, but the stakes have never been higher. Brock Purdy. From the last pick of the 2022 NFL Draft to one of the top salaries in the league, Brock Purdy's story is nothing short of remarkable. Born December 27, 1999, in Queen Creek, Arizona, he grew up in a competitive household and locked in on the quarterback position by the time he was 12. At Iowa State, he rewrote the record books, becoming the school's all-time winningest quarterback and leading the Cyclones to 4 straight bowl appearances. In 2022, he was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers as Mr. Irrelevant, but that label would soon be erased forever. By 2023, Purdy had transformed from a draft afterthought into a franchise cornerstone. He guided the 49ers to another NFC West title and became the first Mr. Irrelevant quarterback to start in a Super Bowl, leading San Francisco to Super Bowl 58, where they fell in overtime. His poise under pressure, accurate passing, and leadership made him a fan favorite and silenced doubts about his future in the league. Every snap he took added weight to the realization that the 49ers had struck gold with the very last pick. That belief was cemented on May 20, 2025, when Purdy signed a 5-year extension worth $265 million, with $181 million guaranteed. The deal pays him an average of $53 million per year, placing him among the top-paid quarterbacks in NFL history. For the 2025 season alone, his payout is set at $41,100,000, a staggering number for a player once dismissed as irrelevant. The contract shows San Francisco's full commitment to Purdy as the face of the franchise, ensuring that the underdog who shocked the league now carries the weight and the paycheck of a star. Gino Smith. On April 3, 2025, the NFL landscape shifted in Las Vegas. Gino Smith, once seen as a journeyman quarterback, became the centerpiece of the Raiders' bold plan. His payout for the season, an eye-catching $40 million, instantly ranked him among the top 20 highest-paid players in the league. For fans and analysts, this wasn't just a number. It was the latest chapter in a career that had already defied expectations. Smith's rise was anything but straightforward. Drafted in 2013, he cycled through the Jets, Giants, and Chargers before redemption struck in Seattle. With the Seahawks, he claimed 2 Pro Bowl nods and the 2022 Comeback Player of the Year award. Then, on March 13, 2025, the Raiders traded a 3rd-round pick to bring him in. Weeks later, they locked him into a 2-year, $75 million extension with $66,500,000 guaranteed. For 2025, the math was clear. A $24 million base salary paired with a $16 million roster bonus, adding up to the headline total of $40 million. Yet beneath the shine lies strategy. The Raiders' deal offers immediate stability but keeps the long game in play. In 2026, only $18,500,000 remains fully guaranteed, with another $8 million tied to injury protections, while 2027 holds no guarantees at all. For Smith, the $40 million payout cements his place among the NFL's financial elite in 2025. For the Raiders, it's a calculated bet, buying leadership and proven production, while leaving the door open to pivot if the gamble doesn't pay off. Rashawn Slater. In late July 2025, the Los Angeles Chargers made a bold move that shook the NFL. On July 27, 2025, they locked down left tackle Rashawn Slater with a 4-year, $114 million contract extension, including an eye-popping $92 million guaranteed. The deal carried a $29 million signing bonus and a $7 million roster bonus, instantly making him the highest-paid offensive lineman in NFL history, with an average annual salary of $28,500,000. For a position often overlooked, it was a statement. The Chargers weren't just investing in a player, they were investing in the wall protecting their franchise quarterback. But just 11 days later, on August 7, 2025, the story took a heartbreaking turn. During a practice session, Slater went down with a devastating leg injury. Diagnosed as a torn patellar tendon, the injury required surgery and ended his entire 2025 season before it even began. Slater was carted off the field, surrounded by trainers and concerned teammates, and the deal that had symbolized triumph suddenly became a safety net, proof of why guaranteed money matters in a game defined by physical risk. Despite the setback, Slater's contract still places him firmly among the NFL's elite earners for the 2025 to 2026 season. Sam Darnold. In the 2025 NFL season, few stories are more surprising than Sam Darnold's. On March 13, 2025, the Seattle Seahawks handed him a 3-year, $100,500,000 contract with a massive $37,500,000 fully guaranteed for that season alone. That deal catapulted Darnold into the list of the top 20 highest-paid players in the league, a position almost unthinkable just a few years earlier when he was battling to keep a starting role in the NFL. For Seattle, it marked the beginning of a new era, moving on from Gino Smith and betting big on Darnold's resurgence. The turning point came in 2024 when Darnold signed a modest 1-year, $10 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings. What followed was nothing short of a breakthrough, a career-best 4,319 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, and a 102.5 passer rating. He not only silenced critics, but also earned his first Pro Bowl selection. That performance reignited his market value and convinced Seattle that he was more than just a bridge quarterback. In return, the Seahawks structured a deal that could protect them if things faltered. But if Darnold thrived, he would be worth every cent of that $37,500,000 payout. The contract is more than just numbers. It's a symbol. It tells of a quarterback once labeled a bust who fought back to prove his worth. It reflects a franchise willing to gamble on upside rather than cling to the safe option. And it sets the stage for one of the most compelling storylines of the 2025 to 2026 season. Trevor Lawrence, the face of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is cashing in big in 2025. This season alone, he will earn $37,500,000, placing him firmly among the NFL's top 20 highest-paid players. That payout is part of his record-breaking extension signed in June 2024, a 5-year, $275 million deal that tied him with Joe Burrow for the highest annual average salary in league history at $55 million per year. Of that staggering total, $200 million is guaranteed, with $142 million fully guaranteed at signing, locking the Jaguars' quarterback into the team's future through 2030. For Jacksonville, this deal was more than numbers on paper. It was a statement. Lawrence became the highest-paid player in franchise history, overtaking every star who came before him in teal and black. The signing ceremony, witnessed by his wife Marissa, marked a turning point not only for his career, but for the Jaguars' aspirations of sustained success. The deal ensured the team wouldn't risk losing their centerpiece to free agency, and it placed him side by side with the game's most elite quarterbacks in both pay and expectation. But here's the twist. Despite the money, the spotlight, and the guarantees, Neither Lawrence nor any of the top-paid quarterbacks entering the 2025 season has yet secured a Super Bowl ring. That reality fuels the narrative surrounding his career. At $37.5 million this year, Lawrence isn't just a symbol of wealth. He's carrying the weight of a franchise still chasing its first championship. The numbers are historic, the contract unmatched in Jaguars history, but the real test is whether he can turn all those millions into the one prize money can't buy, a Lombardi trophy. T. Higgins' story took a dramatic turn in March 2025 when the Bengals finally ended months of speculation by signing him to a 4-year, $115 million contract extension. For a player who had been franchise tagged and left waiting in uncertainty, the deal was not just security, it was a statement. In that very first season of the extension, Higgins secured a staggering $35,900,000, making him one of the top 20 highest-paid NFL players of the 2025 to 2026 season. The structure of the contract, with base salary and roster bonuses front-loaded, meant Higgins was immediately elevated into the NFL's highest financial tier for wide receivers. This figure is even more striking when considering Higgins' role on the Bengals roster. While Jamar Chase had already taken the WR1 mantle, Higgins' deal ensured Cincinnati locked in not just one but two elite pass catchers for quarterback Joe Burrow. Analysts noted how unusual it was for a so-called WR2 to command $35.9 million in a single season, underscoring just how valuable his contested catch and consistent production had become. By structuring the contract this way, the Bengals effectively kept one of the league's most dangerous wide receiver tandems intact, even at record-breaking cost. For Higgins, the payout represented more than money. It represented validation. From his Clemson days to his arrival in Cincinnati as the 33rd overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, he had proven himself on the biggest stages. Now, with $35,900,000 in 2025 earnings and a long-term deal behind him, Higgins stood as the highest-paid WR2 in league history and a cornerstone of the Bengals' identity. The message was clear. The Bengals were all in on securing their offensive future, and Higgins had secured not just wealth, but a legacy in the making. Terry McLaurin. Under the bright lights of the NFL, few stories capture resilience quite like Terry McLaurin's. Drafted in the third round back in 2019, he quickly proved himself as more than just a reliable wideout, becoming the heartbeat of the Washington Commanders' offense. Fast forward to 2025, and McLaurin has secured a massive payday, sitting among the league's top 20 highest-paid players for the 2025 to 2026 season. After posting his fifth straight 1,000-yard season in 2024, capped with 82 catches, 1,096 yards, and a career-high 13 touchdowns, McLaurin's performance demanded recognition, and his contract saga soon became one of the biggest stories of the offseason. The summer of 2025 was turbulent. McLaurin entered training camp on the physically unable to perform list with an ankle injury, and frustration boiled over into a holdout and even a trade request. But just as tensions peaked, the breakthrough came on August 25, 2025. McLaurin signed a 3-year extension worth up to $96 million, including a $30 million signing bonus and $44,650,000 guaranteed at signing. The deal, one of the richest ever for a Commanders receiver, didn't just end months of uncertainty. It re-established McLaurin as a centerpiece of Washington's future. For a player once overlooked in the draft, the numbers told the world exactly how far he had climbed. Now, as the 2025 to 2026 season begins, Terry McLaurin stands not just as a star wide receiver, but as one of football's highest earners, set to collect $35,400,000 in cash payouts for 2025 alone. It's a staggering figure that reflects his consistency, his leadership, and his indispensable role on the field. Joe Burrow. They say legends are written in numbers, but the truth lies beneath the surface. In the 2025 to 2026 season, Joe Burrow, the cool-headed leader of the Cincinnati Bengals, secures a massive payday of $35,250,000 in cash earnings. Back on September 9, 2023, he signed a 5-year deal worth $275 million, with $219 million guaranteed, making him one of the highest-paid players in league history. It's more than a contract. It's proof of the Bengals' trust in the man they believe can deliver championships. Born on December 10, 1996 in Ames, Iowa, Burrow's journey to this moment was paved with dominance. At LSU, he captured the Heisman Trophy and a national championship before going #1 overall in the 2020 NFL Draft. In the years since, he's transformed Cincinnati from a struggling franchise into a perennial contender. By 2024, Burrow led the NFL in passing yards and touchdowns, further justifying the record-breaking extension that secured his future with the Bengals. Kyler Murray. The Arizona desert is home to one of the NFL's most electrifying dual-threat quarterbacks, Kyler Murray. In the 2025 season, Murray is set to collect $32,607,500 in cash, placing him among the top highest-paid players in the league. Back in July 2022, Murray signed a massive 5-year, $230,500,000 contract extension with $160 million guaranteed. That deal averages $46.1 million per year, and in 2025 it translates into one of the most lucrative payouts in the NFL. His cap hit for 2025 stands at $43,325,677, reflecting just how heavily Arizona's roster is tied to his performance. For the Cardinals, it's a high-stakes investment, because when Murray is healthy, his ability to extend plays and flip the field in an instant is priceless. But the deal wasn't without controversy. The infamous independent study clause that once required him to log 4 hours of film review per week made headlines before it was quickly removed after backlash. It revealed the level of scrutiny and expectation that comes with a contract of this size. If you enjoyed this video, I'm going to be posting a lot more interesting videos on the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Thank you very much.